So make your way into a child's pose if you're not there already. It's up to you what your child's pose is showing up this morning. If you want your knees together, if you want the knees slightly wider, if you want the hands out in front or the arms alongside the body. Wherever you are, just settling into this space, settling into this stillness. And just starting to close down the eyes. And just start to focus on the breath as you inhale through the nose. Follow the track of the breath as it goes through the nostrils, down the back of the throat, into the lungs, into the tummy as you expand. And as you exhale, squeezing that air all the way back out from your tummy to the lungs, through the throat, through the nose and out. So just simply following the track of the breath this morning. Inhale as you feel an expansion. And exhale as you feel a kind of softness. So I really want you to work with the breath today to get a little bit deeper, so you use it as a tool. Remember, particularly when things get challenging, it's there to help, to facilitate, to make things easier. So maybe almost as you inhale, you slightly back off from the pose. And as you exhale, maybe slightly sink a little bit deeper. So just settling into the stillness, noticing what it's like to be here, almost in this little shell. This is your home, remembering that you can visit at any time during your practice. I'm going to give you options 1, 2 and 3 this morning. Option 1 being the most basic and option 3 being the most challenging. So just take 3 more slow breaths here, settling into this nice rhythm. Good, and then slowly, just walking the hands out in front if they're not there already, maybe still keeping the eyes closed. Gently walk the hands over to the right hand side. As you root your left sit bone down, just getting into a nice side stretch here. Inflating the left ribs. And then slowly walking the hands back to center and over to the opposite side. Again, nice slow movement, subtle and soft. Good, and then gently walking the hands back to center, start to lift the hips up over the knees. Come into that tabletop position, keeping the hips nice and high. Just gently walk the hands forward and down, coming into your puppy stretch. So you can bring the palms towards the mat. If you want to get a little bit deeper into the outside of your shoulders, you can bring the palms towards the ceiling. It depends what you need from the stretch this morning. Just 2 more breaths here. And then slowly, gently walk the hands all the way back towards you, coming into that tabletop position. Good, now pressing the mat away as you lift up through the armpits, start to straighten the right leg out. Toes are drawing towards the face, heel is drawing slightly up, so you feel an engagement through the right butt cheek. Take an inhale here, and exhale, bring your knee to your nose, round and hold. Good, inhale as you lengthen. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, maybe reach the left arm out. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Good, you have 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee, round squeeze. Pull everything in, dome through the upper back, navel, ribs draw in. Good, and then slowly releasing down. Other side, left leg floats and extends. Squeeze lightly through that left butt cheek to support. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, round and hold. Press the mat away. 2 more, maybe reach the right fingertips out this time. Or stay as you were, elbow to knee. Same thing, dome through the upper back. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale. Lovely, now slowly release. Have a little wiggle if you need a few cat and cow just to move the spine this morning. Any other shapes that your body might want to create here. Squeezing the left hip to the left shoulder and vice versa, or maybe some circles, maybe figures of 8. Maybe shaking the head yes or no. Just take one more breath. Good, and then coming back into that neutral tabletop. Just start to lift up through the armpits again as you press the left toes back and the right toes back, high plank. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Pulling your navel in, pressing the mat away, butt is engaged for 3. Stay here strong for 2. Good, and then for 1, shoulders come over the wrists and hold. Now drop the knees, untuck the toes, chest and chin, elbows hug the ribs as you come down onto your tummy. Hips stay lifted, then ripple forward into your baby cobra. If you want to come into a modified upward dog, you can press up a little bit further. It's up to you this morning, but be gentle with your body. It might not have moved a lot yet today. Take one more breath wherever you are. Good, then sending your hips back to your heels just for an active child's pose. Come onto the fingertips, forearms are lifted, sinking the hips to the heels. Take one more breath. Now tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward facing dog. Again, this might be your first downward dog today or for a while. Just assess, take any subtle movement you might need, pedaling into the feet, bending into the knees. Maybe a little twist through the hips, through the waist. Remember that your head is that bowling ball, softening towards the ground, releasing the jaw, releasing the neck. His sit bones are lifting up, creating this mountain-like shape with your body. Good, taking one more full breath here. And as you inhale, this time come high onto the tiptoes, ripple forward again into your high plank and hold, shoulders over the wrists. Now soften the knees hover up off the mat as you send your hips to your heels, and then hips lift, heels to the mat. Twice more like this in your spinal waves. Inhale, ripple forward, lead with the upper back, then head lifts. Soften the knees, send the hips back. Hips lift, downward facing dog. You have one more. Inhale, and then exhale. Good, then softening the knees, gaze forward, step one foot, and then the other to the front of the mat. Inhale to your halfway lift. Navel to spine, back body is engaged. Exhale as you fold, release the head. This time just interlock the fingers, bring the hands around the back of the skull. Just really let the head go here. Bring your chin slightly closer towards the chest. Holding here for 2 more breaths. Feel that nice stretch down the top of your back. Maybe it goes to the middle of your back. I can feel it in the middle of my back. Take one more breath. Then slowly release the hands, gently coming up to stand. Nice and slow. Head is the last thing to lift for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Inhale as you reach and lift. Feel that stretch. Imagine I'm pulling your fingertips up a millimeter further as your chest lifts, your gaze lifts. And as you exhale, hinge the hips, fold and melt. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, halfway lift, weight in the toes. Exhale, soften the knees, plant the hands, step back, high plank and hold. So option 1 is knees, chest and chin as we did before. Option 2 is shoulders over the wrists. High to low plank, elbows hug. This is strong if your hips are dropping before the shoulders. Stick with knees, chest and chin. Inhale, upward dog or baby cobra. Wrap the shoulders back, lengthen through the crown of the head. Then pull your whole front body in to lift the hips. Downward facing dog. This time bring your left foot to the middle of the mat, maybe half a step closer to your hands. Start to raise the right foot up. Option 1 is start to pick the heel up and drive the heel down. Option 2 is to have little hops. Just getting the weight and shoulders over the wrist for a little handstand hop. Option 3 is to go even higher and fly with shoulders over the wrists. Do about 3 if you can. Have a little bit of fun. Get that heat building. Good, 1 more round. Awesome, guys. Then bring the right foot back down to the mat, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Then soften the knees, gaze forward, step, hop or float to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. And exhale, fold and melt. Inhale, rise, reach, lift. And exhale, flowing all the way down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands. Soften the knees, maybe step or float back, knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, chest lifts. And exhale, hips lift. Downward facing dog. Same thing on the other side. This time, right foot just slightly closer towards the hands in the middle of the mat. Raise the left leg. Option 1, heels lifts on your inhale. Exhale, it drives down. Option 2, little hops. Option 3, maybe bigger hops. Good, guys. Have a little bit of fun. Get the weight into the hands, shoulders over the wrists. As you lift, maybe exhale to press the mat away. You have one more. Good, and then slowly settle that left foot back down. Downward facing dog. Take a breath. Now soften the knees, gaze forward, step, hop or float to the front. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, lift, reach. And exhale, hands come down to prayer or heart center. Just holding here for a breath. Feel that connection between the hands and the heart. Now feet together, weighted to the heels, Utkatasana chair pose. Now this time in your chair pose, sink the hips nice and low, an inch lower than you think you should. Soften the shoulder blades down the back, ribs are drawing in. Now start to pick up the right foot, float it an inch up off the mat, feel the engagement in the left leg, take one more breath. Good, then start to switch. Float the left foot. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Good, inhale, start to pick the heels up. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften the knees, plant the hands, step or float back. Your choice of vinyasa. Knees, chest and chin, or high to low plank. Hips lift, downward facing dog. Now inhale, right leg raises. This time bend at the knee and open up through the hip. If you want to draw circles with the knee one way or the other to work into your right hip, you can. Go for it. If you want to circle the ankle, go for it. We have 2 more breaths. Peeling that hip open wider, take one more breath. Good, now square off the hips, knee to nose, round and hold. Now press the mat away, lift up through the armpits, good. Inhale, release the shin down to the mat underneath you. Exhale, squeeze it up. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, hold, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, guys. Release the shin down. Pivot this left foot 90 degrees as your left arm reaches up. Your right shin will spin slightly 45 degrees underneath you. If you need to tuck your right toes, you can. Hold here in your gate pose for 1 more breath. Good. Now start to come light on your right fingertips as left fingertips reach down your left leg as the right arm peels up. Nice side stretch here for 3, for 2, and exhale, maybe go a little deeper, 1. Remember, use the breath. Cartwheel the hands back to where they came from, and this time start to float the left leg. Squeeze this left butt cheek to raise that left foot flex towards the face. Left arm comes over that left ear. Take an inhale here. Exhale, elbow to knee, round, touch. Crunch through the left hand side of your waist. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Hold. Now keep the leg where it is. Start to reach the left hand back to grab that foot. Now open through the front of that hip, that thigh. Press the foot into the hand, send the hips forward for 1 more breath. Awesome, and then slowly release this foot and start to bring this foot to the front of the mat. Underneath your left shoulder almost. Make a little bit of space so your hands can come on the inside. Start to have a little rock, a little circle, breathing into this left hip. Good, taking 1 more breath here. Right hand comes down, open up into that left hip, press it away, come onto the blade of your left foot. Again, inhale here. Exhale, maybe go a little bit deeper. One more breath. Lovely. Now start to squeeze right heel to right butt cheek. Left arm comes up and back to grab the foot. For 3. Exhale, maybe go deeper. 2. And for 1. Good. And then slowly releasing that foot. Left foot comes down. Right hand stays to the mat as the left arm peels up. Now tuck your back toe, lift your right knee. Easy twist, squeeze the inner thighs together. Lift the right thigh, draw the right heel away. Now same thing, coming light on these right fingertips, this time coming up to stand. Imagine someone's pulling your left arm back in your twist for 3. Exhale deeper, 2. And for 1, now left hand to your right thigh. Right arm peels up as you exhale for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now inhale, left arm lifts, high lunge. And then exhale, fold. Frame the foot, step back. Vinyasa through. If you would like, if you want to just come into a downward dog straight away, please do. And your hips lift. Take a breath, take a pause. Scan the body, scan the mind, scan the breath. Just use this little time to take nourishing breaths, to pause and to reset. You have 1 more. Good, now everything on the left-hand side. Start to raise the left leg up, bend at the knee and open up through that hip. Squeeze that knee open if you want to do circles through the knee, through the ankle, whatever you need this morning. You have 2 more breaths. 1 more. Good, now squaring off the hips, knee to nose, round and hold. Pull it in a little bit further. Good. Now inhale, tap it on the mat below you. Exhale, squeeze it up. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale, tap. Exhale, squeeze and hold. 3, 2, 1. Good, now release that left shin down. And then start to plant your right foot 90 degrees parallel to the back edge of the mat. Right arm lifts in your gate pose. Your left shin might want to spin slightly. Holding here for 1 more breath. Now coming light on the left fingertips. Start to squeeze your obliques, your side abs to lift up. Right fingertips come down that right leg. Inhale here. Exhale, maybe go a little deeper. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Good, and then slowly draw yourself all the way back down. Now this time, right arm lifts and right leg lifts. So squeeze through that right butt cheek, find that control. Right arm comes over your right ear. Take an inhale to lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. 2 more. Don't use momentum. Take it slow. Inhale. Exhale. The more muscle engagement you will use here. Take 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Hold. Keep the knee where it is. Right hand comes to that right foot. Now open up into the thigh and the hip. Press the foot into the hand. And send the hips forward. Oh, this feels quite nice. Take 1 more breath. Good. And then slowly start to release. And then start to step this right foot to the front. Good. Right hand on the inside of that foot. Start to rock backwards and forwards. Easing into this right hip. You have 1 more breath. Good. Now opening up into this right hip. Right hand to the thigh. Come onto the blade of the right foot. Take an inhale. Exhale. Press it away. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Go deeper. Now squeeze left heel to left butt cheek. Inhale, raise right arm up. Exhale, grab the foot, squeeze it in. One of my favorites. Maybe come onto the left forearm if you want to go deeper. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one. Good, and then slowly releasing. Bring both hands on the inside of that foot. Now tuck your back toe, lift your left knee, right arm peels up, easy twist. Good, squeeze the inner thighs together. Get the rotation from the rib cage rather than the hips. Now coming light on your left fingertips. Start to lift up. Imagine I'm pulling your right hand back behind you. Embrace the wobbles. Breathe, smile, and try again. Take an inhale. Exhale, go deeper. Now right hand to the left thigh. Left arm lifts up and over, exalt. Now flare the ribs. This is a little back bend. Take one more breath. Good, now inhale, right arm lifts, high lunge. And exhale as you fold. Frame your foot, step back. Vinyasa through. And coming back to downward facing dog. Good, now in your downward dog we have options. You can drop to your knees and take a child's pose. You can stay exactly as you are. You can come into some more handstand hops. Or you can simply work with lifting the heel, drawing it down. Or getting a little bit more flight. Now get the shoulders over the wrists. You want to stack the hips over the wrists. And start to have a little bit of a play. To kick up. Your choice, you have 3 more breaths wherever you are. Use any walls if you need to, if you feel like it's a little bit scary, it can be. 2 more breaths. Really nice, Amy. Breathe out as you press up. Yes. And then everyone just drop to your knees and just take a child's pose. Let it go. Give yourself that permission just to be. Just to feel back into this little shell that we visited in the beginning. Good, take one more full nourishing breath here. Good, and then slowly tuck the toes and lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Bending the knees, gazing forward, step, hop or float to the front. Inhale as you lengthen. And exhale as you fold. Good. Now sinking the hips nice and low, lifting into that chair pose. Arms lift. Now we're going to do some circles with the shoulders. So start to circle the shoulders, press the hands away from you. Almost imagine you're scooping the fingertips on the mat as you inhale, lift up, chair pose. Exhale, circle them back. This looks kind of easy, but I always find it quite challenging, getting that full range of motion at your shoulder joints. Really press the air away from you. Take one more. And this time you're going to clasp the hands behind you in a fist. Roll the shoulders back, press the hands away. Sink an inch lower. Option 1, stay there. Option 2, pick up the heels. Keep breathing. Good, take one more breath. Good, then everyone soften through the knees and fold. And a nice opening, release the head, release the neck. Active, so squeeze the palms together, take one more breath. Nice, and then slowly release the hands. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, soften the knees, plant the hands, step back, vinyasa if you would like. Otherwise, lift straight to downward dog. Good. And now as you inhale, raise your right leg up towards the sky. Bend at the knee again, open up through the hip just for a breath. And this time as you exhale, right knee to left elbow, twist, but keep the shoulders square to the front of the mat. We have 2 more. Inhale, open wider. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, twist. 1 more, inhale. Good, now exhale, twist and hold. Option 1, stay there. Option 2, fallen star. Bring that foot out, maybe peel the left arm up, maybe raise the right leg up. Take 1 more breath. Good, now left hand comes down, start to raise the right leg up and open up through the hip. Option 1, stay there. Option 2, slowly bring that foot behind, coming into a wild thing. Right, left leg straight, right knee bent. Maybe a full wheel if that's in your practice. Take 1 more breath. Good, then right hand comes down. Peel your right leg up for your 3-legged dog. And right foot steps in between your hands where your right thumb is. Good, and then inhale as you lift, high lunge. And exhale, start to bend both knees, fists come down. Fists of fire, inhale, drive up, straighten through both legs. Exhale, come down. You have 2 more, inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, come down. 1 more, inhale, work with the breath. Exhale, sink deeper and hold. Now arms come alongside the body. Belly hovers over that right thigh, arrow pose for a breath. When you're ready, slowly start to press warrior 3. Really nice. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Left fingertips are reaching back. You can have hands at prayer or arms out in front. But I want this left leg to be active. It's not wobbly, it's not dangling there. Take 1 more breath. Good, now inhale, lift up to stand. Maybe bring the hands to prayer at center now if you wish. Inhale, squeeze this left knee higher. And as you exhale, I want you to diagonally tap the left foot behind you. Bend into that right knee. So the further away you go, the harder this is going to be. Feel that right glute switch on. And then inhale, drive, push. Lift the knee. Exhale, tap it diagonally behind you. Oof, good guys, 2 more. I can feel this. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, tap. Really good, 1 more. Inhale, squeeze and lift. This time as we tap, we're gonna hold and we're gonna pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, guys. Now slowly lift up to stand. Squeeze the knee in, raise the fingertips up, maybe kick the foot out for 3, for 2, and for 1. Good. Now slowly lift this left knee and start to gently flow back through your warrior 3 for a breath. Remember, if you wobble, it doesn't matter. Reset, breathe, smile, try again. Pause, and then slowly step the left foot back. Frame the foot with the fingertips, drop the knee, untuck the toe. Now straighten into this right leg. Half splits. Toes drawing towards the face. Give that right leg a little bit of a breather. Just melt the torso over that right shin for 3, for 2, and for 1. Good. Now start to take your left hand to the right foot. Guide it across to the left hand side. Now reach your fingertips away from you with the left foot on the outside of both hands. You should feel a deep stretch on the outside of your right leg. Good. This is one of my favorites. Pause here for 1 more breath. And then now slowly keep the left foot where it is. Bend into this right shin. And keep the right foot where it is, Bend into that right shin. And then you should come into a little pigeon pose. You might need to give yourself a little bit of an adjustment. Left hip rolls to that right heel. And what I want you to do, a few spinal waves before you come down. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, fold over the shin. 2 more. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, fold over. 1 more. Inhale. This time as you exhale, fold your deepest and hold. Breathing into that right butt cheek that worked hard. Stretching it out for 5 breaths here. Just 1 more big, full, expansive breath. Good, and then gently, gently peeling your chest back up. Now start to squeeze the left heel in towards your left butt cheek. Option 1, left arm reaches up and back. Maybe it grabs the foot, maybe it doesn't, but still squeeze it in, it's an active stretch. Option 2, grab the foot or foot on the elbow crease. Option 3, maybe mermaid. Take 2 more breaths. Focus is to open across the left thigh. And then gently releasing out. Good. Hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toe. Lift that left knee and slowly extend your right leg up and back. Any movements, any wiggles, shake it out. And then settle back into downward facing dog. A vinyasa if you would like. Your choice. It can sometimes feel nice. And now we're going to do everything on that left hand side. Now inhale, raise the left leg up, bend the knee, open up through the hip. Take an inhale. Exhale, left knee to right elbow twist. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last one. Now inhale, open even wider. And exhale, twist. Option 1, stay there. Option 2, fallen star. Option 3, maybe pick up the foot. Good. Squeeze and lift through that left hand side of your body. 1 more breath. Now right hand comes down, raise that left leg up, bend the knee and open up through the hip. Option 1, stay there. Option 2, slowly bring the foot behind. Wild thing. Really opening through the heart and the chest. Reach for the mat behind you. Take 1 more breath. Good. Now left hand comes down. Start to pick up that left foot. And then left foot comes where your left thumb is in between the hands. We have our fists of fire as we inhale, rise. Exhale, bend both knees, fists come alongside the body. Link the movement with the breath here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale, hold, sink deep. Now arms come alongside the body, torso hovers over that left thigh, arrow pose. When you're ready, engage through that left leg to float. Warrior 3. Good, lead through the crown of the head. Imagine you're pressing a wall behind you with that back foot. Take 1 more breath. Hands to prayer at heart center. Start to slowly lift up to stand. Squeeze this right knee in higher. So if it's kind of comfortable here, squeeze it in higher. Use that hip flexor. And as you inhale here, exhale, diagonally step the left foot behind. Feel that engagement through your left glute and butt. Now inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, tap. Good, you have 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Notice how this side is to the other. This is a little bit weaker my left than my right. Inhale. This time as you exhale, hold and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, now big push. Inhale, reach. Lift the fingertips, kick the foot out for 3, 2, and 1. Good, now slowly bend knee, hands come to prayer. Float back, warrior 3 for a breath. So you know you've got a little bit of control, a little bit of intention. Then slowly step the right foot back. Bring the fingertips to the mat, drop the knee, untuck the toe. Now straighten this left leg. Half splits. Just easing into that left leg. Melt the torso for 3, for 2, 1 more. Now take the outside of the left foot with the right hand, guide it across the mat so both hands come on the outside of that left foot. Feel that stretch on the outside of your left leg. Keep those left toes flexed. 2 more. 1 more. Good, now slowly bend into this left knee. The outside edge of your left foot should come to the mat. Plant this left shin down, pigeon stretch. Good, now you might want to sink here onto that left hip. Remember, roll your right hip to your left heel, squaring off the hips. The more parallel the shin is, the more intense the stretch will be, but just be mindful of that left knee. Spinal waves as we inhale, lift, and exhale, fold and melt. 2 more, inhale, exhale. 1 more time, inhale, lift, and this time as you exhale, melt all the way down, and then breathe here, settling into this stillness. You have 4 more deep breaths. We use the exhales to find a little bit more space. Last full breath here. Good, and then gently walking the hands all the way back towards you. Staying here, squeeze your right heel to your right butt cheek, right arm reaches up and back. Option 1, stay there. Option 2, foot on the elbow crease. Option 3, maybe mermaid. Take 1 more breath. Good, and then slowly release. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Tuck your back toe, gently lift the left leg up, nice and slow. Any wiggles or shakes, feel free. Vinyasa, if you would like, that can feel nice. It's optional. And then lifting to downward facing dog. Now it's your last chance for some more handstand hops, or if you just want to work on raising the toes and drawing the heels down. If you did the right leg before, make sure you do the other side. We all have a favorite side, so we often quite like just to do that. It's important to work on our weaknesses as well. So really press the mat away and exhale as you push up. Finding some float, really nice. If you've had enough, you can drop into your child's pose already. Everyone, you have 1 more breath. Good, and then everyone come into child's pose. Just give yourself a nice hug again. Coming into this shell, this little home. You're starting to slow everything down. Good, and then slowly from here, I want you to scoot the shins out from underneath you to come to sit onto your bottom. I'm going to have a little bit of core work before we come into our final inversion for this morning. So come down to lie onto your back, feet flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling. Now you'll feel there's a natural gap between your lower back and the floor. I want you to get rid of that. Pull the navel in, the tailbone will slightly lengthen away from you, and you'll feel that there's no gap now. Now always you must keep the body in this position. Don't let the lower back lift. You know you've gone too far. Now what I want you to do, raise one shin, raise the other shin. Now what I want you to do, lift the shoulder blades up, reach for something in front of you. So you feel the navel is pulling in, your lower abs are engaged, your inner core is engaged, your lower back is glued to the mat. Now what we're going to do, imagine there's a tray of drinks on your shins. We're going to take those tray of drinks with your hands as you inhale here. Exhale, bring the tray of drinks over your head and straighten the legs slightly. If the lower back lifts, you've probably gone too low, then pick the feet up a little bit higher. You should feel that quiver. Take a breath, I know I do. Inhale. Exhale, bring the tray of drinks back over the shin. Lower back is always glued. We have 5 more. Inhale. Exhale. It's a subtle movement, but this is tough. Take a breath. Good, and squeeze it back in. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Good, inhale. Exhale. You have 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale here, tray of drinks over your shins. Exhale, then we hold. If you want to make this more challenging, you lower the legs, you bring the arms further away from you. Keep the lower back glued for 3, for 2, and for 1. Bring the knees in, give yourself a hug. Woo! That should be quite challenging. You should be feeling that quivering, that shake, and you know you're doing it right. Hopefully I explained it well enough. Take a breath. Really good. Now this time we're going to lift up again into our lower boat pose. So our lower back is glued. If you need to raise the feet up higher, please do, but arms are out in front. Navel is pulling in and down towards the spine. Good. Now take an inhale here. We're going to exhale, squeeze up. Lift into our Savasana. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Lower back is glued here. Shoulder blades lifted. Exhale, squeeze. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Then exhale. Hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. Release the feet. Give yourself a hug. Woo. Well done, guys. This is tough. This is kind of similar to some Pilates moves, which you might have seen in a Pilates class. Really getting that deep inner core muscles working, not just the superficial rectus abdominis. Now this time, toes and heels to touch. Make a little diamond shape with your feet. But press the toes and the heels together. Keep that connection so you feel your inner legs start to engage. These are linked to your core, and now we're going to work our obliques, the side abs. So reach the fingertips out, tuck the tailbone under, press the feet together for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Now hold there. You should feel your side abs work. We're going to pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. And then come down for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Whew. Good, guys. Give yourself a little bit of a shake. Massage that lower back if you need. Really good. Now we're going to finish off with a bridge pose as our inversion today. Feet flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling. Raise the backs of the heels with the fingertips, feet hip distance apart. Same thing, imprint the lower back onto the mat, tailbone lengthens away, and then lift the hips, lower back, middle back, upper back, coming onto your shoulders. Option 1, stay there. Option 2, clasp the hands underneath you. Maybe scoot up onto one shoulder, scoot up onto the other. Now you're squeezing the butt to lift. You're flaring the ribs to open through the front of the body. This is a back bend. Your thighs are active, squeeze an imaginary brick in between them. Take 2 more deep belly breaths. 1 more. Good, and then slowly release, gently come down. Good. Now we have 1 more set. We're going to hold for 5 breaths. So you can come into your bridge pose, you can come into your full wheel. Same thing, imprint the lower back onto the mat, lengthen the tailbone away, lift the hips, lower back, middle back, upper back, coming onto your shoulders. Bridge poses, stay here, maybe clasp the hands. Full wheel, hands alongside the shoulders, under the ears, gently press up, lightly onto the top of the head, and then start to straighten the arms. Straighten the arms, draw the chest towards the back of your mat. You're lengthening and you're not dumping into that lower back. Good, you have 3 more breaths wherever you are, everyone. Squeeze the butt, lift high, squeeze the thighs. 2 more. Last one. Good, and then slowly, gently release. Coming all the way down, take it slow. Bring the knees in when you're ready. Take little rocks, little circles. Just let the spine rebalance here for a breath. Maybe the heart rate has increased, maybe more heat. Really, really energizing. And then just simply allow both knees to fall over to the left, right shoulder blade plants. You can keep the knees stacked, you can wrap the top leg underneath the bottom leg. Little twist, a nice counter pose after those back bends. Flooding your belly with breath. Take one more. And then slowly draw the knees back to center, over to the opposite side. Same thing. Feel that stretch from your left armpit to your left hip. Maybe softening the gaze or closing the eyes. And then gently drawing the knees back to center, happy baby to finish. Either grab backs of the shin, backs of the thighs, shins, or outside edges of the feet. Nice release for the lower back here as well. You can take little rocks, you can straighten one leg or both. Breathing here for 2 more breaths. One more. And then slowly release the feet, knees in towards the chest, arms around the shins, forehead to the knees. Squeeze into a super tight ball. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, sigh, release, let all that tension melt away. Coming into your final well-deserved resting pose, Savasana. Just letting the whole body disengage here, the arms, the legs. Softening through the jaw, through the throat, through the shoulders. And just imagining all those little areas of tension that might be positioned across the body. Imagine them as little knots just slowly starting to untie. Allowing yourself to melt into the ground. And just holding here for this last minute or so for complete and total stillness and surrender. As always, if you need to stay here a little longer this morning, then please, please do. Otherwise, just take a soft inhale through the nose to fill the belly. Exhale, soft sigh through the mouth, let it go. Gently bring some subtle movement to the fingers, the toes, maybe the head and the jaw. Maybe coming into a nice long deep stretch, pointing through the toes, reaching through the fingertips. Maybe there's a little yawn in there too. And then slowly bringing the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself one final big and well-deserved hug, and as always, thanking your body for the amazing things that it's done for us today and every single day. Rolling over onto whichever side you prefer in your fetal position, just for a moment, keeping the eyes closed. And then still keeping the eyes closed, pressing up into your comfortable seated position. Whatever that is for you, cross-legged on the shins. Just sitting with yourself for these last few moments of class. Just slowly starting to become aware of the space around you. Becoming aware of the physical body and how it feels. Any shifts to when we first visited the mat this morning. The mind and the breath too. And as always, thanking yourself for dedicating this truly special time for you to move and breathe, particularly in the morning. Perfect way to start the day. Bringing your hands to prayer at heart center. Filling this heart space up with that gratitude, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, sigh, release, let it go. Maybe start to bring a little smile onto your face, lifting the corners of the mouth. Slowly flicker the eyes open, let the light in the world back in. And namaste everyone. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for sharing this space with me as always.